Hello, everybody. Welcome to this session on how to use social media for customer service. If you do this really well, it can be a huge win for your organization. But if you fail at it, then you risk really damaging your brand. So, along with the explosion of social media comes a real change in power. One person calling your customer service line to complain may not have much impact in your mind, but throw in a handful of people with the same problem, an influential blog or two, and a Twitter army, and you have a good old-fashioned revolt on your hands. So, social customer service is basically the practice of providing consumer support through social media channels such as Facebook and Twitter to quickly answer questions. 69% of customers believe fast resolution of the problem is vital to good service, making social consumer support invaluable. Clearly, social media sites such as Facebook and Twitter have evolved to become more than emergent platforms for marketing and advertising. Increasingly, they're also valid and important channels through which consumers solicit and receive customer service. The reality is that customer service expectations are rising year after year, and consumers are looking to brands to create a seamless experience that spans the showroom floor to the Facebook timeline. Simply having a social media presence is no longer enough. Your job is to be a social media rock star, because the consumer, not the brand, wields the most power over a brand's image on social media. The bottom line is that neglecting conversations that occur on sites like Facebook and Twitter can have a staggering consequence. Conversocial reported that 88% of consumers are less likely to purchase from a company that leaves questions on social media unanswered. Several studies have found that most people feel they deserve a response over social media within the same day. Nothing defines this more than when Motrin decided to launch a new ad campaign around Motrin moms. It was a little edgy, a bit short-sighted, and completely missed the mark. Let's watch the ad.
Wearing your baby seems to be in fashion. I mean, in theory, it's a great idea. There's the front baby carrier, the sling, the swing, the wrap, the pouch, and who knows what else they've come up with. Wear the baby on your side, your front, go hands-free. Supposedly, it's a real bonding experience. They say that babies carried close to the bod tend to cry less than others. But what about me? Do moms that wear their babies cry more than those who don't? I sure do. These things put a ton of strain on your back, your neck, your shoulders. Did I mention your back? I mean, I'll put up with the pain, because it's a good kind of pain. It's for my kid. Plus, it totally makes me look like an official mom. And so, if I look tired and crazy, people will understand why.
So there's the ad. And the resulting backlash was pretty significant.
Wearing your baby seems to be in fashion.
Let me stop it.
I mean, in theory, it's a great idea.
We don't want to hear this
There's
again. There we go. All right. So let me tell you a little about the resulting backlash on this. So the ad was trying to say that carrying a baby in one of those side saddle shoulder harnesses was done because it looks trendy. But because it also hurts, you should take Motrin. So the company released a spot on the Friday in 2008, and moms who watched it got offended and started talking about it on blogs, on Facebook, and on this up-and-coming site called Twitter. 20,000 emails awaited Motrin on Monday morning in response to the new campaign. Here was a billion-dollar pharmaceutical company versus a bunch of moms. Now, in the old days, Big Pharma wins. Company reps will send a few coupons in the mail to irate callers, and that's the end of it. But now everything is immediate, and everyone's voice is relevant. Social media is the great level playing field for all. Blogs and tweets rank well in search engines, and word of mouth is as easy to start as a single tweet. If you Google Motrin moms, the results are usually dominated by blog posts about how bad the ad is. Motrin doesn't even own the top 5 ranking for the term. They pulled the commercial off the corporate site, but as you can see, it is still on YouTube. So what could they have done? Outside of never creating the ad in the first place, here are some suggestions. They really needed to be monitoring their social media channels for mentions of the ad. If people are talking about your brand, then you need to be part of the conversation. They went from Friday until Monday to respond. They should have reacted and posted on their blog in place of the ad that they were attempting to have some fun and just admit to the error. They could run a contest to have others make a better ad about Motrin moms and given away prizes like those shoulder swings. And they could have enabled on Facebook via tweets, on YouTube for the best ad. Let people vote for it. They should have presented the winning ad as what they should have done in the first place, because the people who know the moms best are moms. We're a pretty forgiving culture if you can own up to your mistakes. You can't avoid mistakes and you can't control them after the fact, but you can own a mistake and make it better. When someone says any publicity is good publicity, well, that's true to a point. If you remedy the situation, it can turn out great, but if you don't fix it, it just makes you look bad, and it's not good publicity. Now, companies were very accustomed to one-on-one customer service. Call centers, emails, and help desks are all based on the idea that you need one employee interaction for every customer reaction. What social media allows for is for businesses to have these interactions in public. This kind of public customer service can be both good and bad for your brand. Good because it allows people to see that you're listening and you're engaging and you care about customer service. But bad can happen if the business account is run by someone not skilled at customer service or when complaints are ignored. A great example of the benefit of public customer service comes from Tufts University in Massachusetts. They have 3 cafeterias, all with Twitter accounts. Their primary function is tweeting out their daily menu for students to see, and more importantly, listening to what students are saying about them, as the above tweets show. In the first tweet, you can see that she's using it a lot, as a lot of people do, to vent. I've just eaten the most disgusting apple in the world. How do you grow something so horrible tasting? Get it together at Tufts Dining. This is usually where many companies do nothing, and either the tweet dies, yet always lives on Google, or she gets even angrier. Smart organizations pick up on this and realize they have a chance to not only solve an issue, but build a reputation. Within a few hours, the cafeteria mentioned responded with a tweet. Sorry about the apple. Which location did you get it from? They showed that they were listening, that they cared, and that they wanted to do something about it. Then she replies with, it's okay. She's already backing off the situation, which has been potentially diffused because of the cafeteria's acknowledgement. It could have been left at that, but they decided to ensure her experience would be as good as it could be after this mistake. In the last tweet, they acknowledge her and own the mistake. Thanks for the location info. Yes, it's fresh fruit, and sometimes they go bad, but we should catch it before it gets to you. They could have said fresh fruit goes bad and that's life, but they didn't. Sometimes, though, things don't always go well. With the wrong person managing your social media account, one negative customer experience can potentially grow. An example is the experience April Dunford had when she complained about a local coffee shop called Dark Horse Cafe. She posted a concern about the establishment. You run a cafe. About 50% of your customers are working on laptops. You have one electrical outlet. I'm talking about you, Mr. Dark Horse. One of April's followers saw the complaint and directed it at the Dark Horse account. Check it out, and links to her status. A few hours later, they see the complaint and reply. That's awesome. We're in the coffee business. We have plenty of outlets to do what we need. As you can see, there's no acknowledgement by the cafe that they've done anything wrong at all. Needing an outlet would likely have been a common customer concern. But they don't leave it there. They send April one more tweet to make sure she understands how unimportant her issue is to them. Maybe you should just enjoy the cafe and take a break from your computer for a few minutes. Enjoy the space you're in. This is quite possibly the worst reaction they could have had. They had a huge opportunity here. Ignoring her would have been better than what they did. Here's April's reply. Sorry I mentioned it. Sometimes I show people stuff on my computer over coffee. Please ignore the customer feedback. Gee whiz. So does this interaction make you want to go to the Dark Horse Cafe? This message reached a lot of people, not only April's followers, but through retweets as well. You need to take advantage of the potential for great customer service that social media can allow, but you also need to know what can go wrong. Another potential of public service happens when you watch your competitors' interactions online. If I owned a cafe near the Dark Horse, I would have had an outlet with April's name on it, taken a picture, and tweeted it out to her with an invitation for a coffee on the house. Online retailer Zappos.com has really set the bar for social media customer service. Its approach focuses on making authentic connections via social networks rather than selling or promoting products. Since meeting customer needs is the goal, Zappos staff will spend time to help a person find an item they don't even carry, even though they're making no money off the sale. Still, it's valuable in building customer appreciation and trust. CEO Tony Hsieh recognizes that the web gives everyone a voice, including Zappos customers, and what customers say on blogs and social networks can reach millions. That's why Zappos treats every interaction as an opportunity not to make a sale, but to shed positive light on the brand. Staff are encouraged to be very transparent in their tweets, which helps make customers feel like they know them and can be comfortable reaching out. The interaction is authentic, leaving the customer satisfied and likely to tell others about their experience. Pottery Barn is an interesting example of social media customer service because it shows that exceptional customer service online doesn't always translate offline. One customer, Jennifer Hellam, sought customer service after the glass top on her Pottery Barn table shattered in the extreme Arizona heat one summer. Calling the customer service line and the store where she bought the table didn't get her anywhere. A few weeks later, she posted photos of the tabletop explosion on Pottery Barn's Facebook fan page. Within 30 minutes, she had a call from a customer relations representative who worked with her to find a new tabletop and reimbursed her for it. Though the company engages customers best via Facebook, its YouTube channel does a good job of building community online. Video topics include how-tos for party planners, designer profiles, and featured products. By giving advice about and telling the story behind products, Pottery Barn's YouTube channel brings customers beyond the purchase, which is a very proactive form of customer service. Sensitive information that can be quickly conveyed in writing may easily be sent in a private or direct message through the social media site. The following are based on a few real-world examples of how one company used Twitter to request information, suggest another channel, and move a conversation into a private message. One benefit to using a customer service platform that integrates both social and traditional channels is that you can use social media to let the customer know you'll send them the information they need by email without having to request an email address. After an issue is resolved offline, it's important to return to the social channel and thank the customer for reaching out. Public interactions can be a double-edged sword, but the positive ones, when a customer has the chance to express gratitude for a great customer service experience, is not the interaction to miss out on. In general, all tenets of excellent customer service apply to social media. A great response will correctly identify the issue or the problem, provide links to additional information, Close the loop, even a thank you to a comment or a tweet. Include a personal touch, such as signing off with the agent's first name or initials. Be consistent across the organization with regard to tone and response time. Now, we're all familiar with the old adage, when life gives you lemons, well, you know the rest. The well-known implication is that it's possible to turn around a less than hoped-for situation with a change in attitude. This is particularly useful advice when providing customer service over social media, given consumers' proclivity to use social media to grab a brand's attention. A survey by Dialogue Direct and Customer Care Measurement and Consulting found that in 2011, 20% of consumers were using social media to communicate their complaints to a brand. By 2015, that number had increased to 33%. When this happens, everything depends on your response. Receiving negative feedback is an open invitation to rectify your brand's image and, more important, your relationship with the customer. The customer must feel like they've been heard and that you're willing to do what it takes to make them happy. If feasible, follow up a resolved interaction with "How is everything?" Whatever the social channel, there were a few ways to publicly stick your foot in your mouth. The following are a few social media don'ts. Don't neglect your customers. If you're going to provide customer service over social media, at minimum, every direct support question should be answered. Don't delete or hide comments or posts. The only exception is when comments are clearly spam or in violation of posted community guidelines. Deleting a customer's negative comment in order to preserve your virtual image will only further enrage the customer and damage the relationship. Don't be defensive. It's important to remember that the customer, even when angry, has reached out to you. Thank them for bringing their issue to your attention, acknowledge their concern, and apologize for the trouble they're experiencing, even if you know it's self-wrought. Don't engage with a customer whose intent is simply to argue and publicly defame your brand. Sometimes your best defense is silence, and after a certain point, they'll damage their own credibility more than your brand's reputation. Don't overwhelm your customers with too much information, whether you're posting articles from a knowledge base or providing a too lengthy response in a comment. Don't reply or respond to every customer in the event of mass outages or issues. When many customers are affected by a single issue, it's best to provide only public status updates that will reach everyone. There are some very useful tools now that will alert you when you get mentioned. They range from free search tools like Social Mention to full-featured paid products like Mention. These tools can help you stay on top of when and where your products get mentioned so that you can respond to your customers. They're great for marketing, but they're just as important for customer support. To take things a step further, there are things like the Twitter and Facebook integrations in Groove to get social media mentions right in your help desk, where you can create support tickets from social mentions and respond directly from the app. Also look for mentions that might not be obvious. Don't assume that customers know your Twitter handle, for example. In fact, research shows that only 3% of brand mentions actually use a Twitter handle, instead opting for the company or product name. Similarly, don't assume that customers are spelling your company or product's name right. Search for your product or business name along with misspelled variations on a regular basis. Some tools like Hootsuite will automatically update your feed with new search results to catch people who are maybe having a little trouble. While speed may not be the most important factor for great support in email, phone, or in-person service, in social media, speed trumps all. In a survey by The Social Habit, 32% of social media users who contact a brand expect a response within 30 minutes. and 42% expect a response within 60 minutes. The fast-paced nature of social media, built around live feeds, creates expectations that are different from platforms like email, where a 24-hour response time is a bit more acceptable. But for social, make an effort to respond as quickly as you can. Your tone of voice is massively important in customer service. The right tone depends on your customer, and the best way to get tone right is to adjust your tone to match the customer. There are a few easy cues you can practice spotting in any social media message. Does the customer use emoticons, exclamation points, and slang? This may be a green light for you to reciprocate. Does the customer sound like they might not be totally fluent in your language? In this case, you need to be much more careful with nuances like slang. Does the customer sound frustrated? Turn up the empathy and use tone that's understanding, apologetic, and reassuring. One company that does this really well is JetBlue. You can learn a lot about tone by watching their Twitter feed. Somebody said, "Flight delayed and now have to take a new plane." At JetBlue, don't you check maintenance on your planes before you board them? Awful. Notice how they tailor their tone to the customer. Delays are frustrating. Thank you for your patience as the crew makes sure the plane is safe for your flight. When the customer is frustrated, JetBlue focuses on empathy and apology. When the customer is happy but not using a super casual tone, JetBlue does the same. "Thank you at JetBlue for making my flight to San Juan, Puerto Rico so relaxing. Now I'm ready to enjoy this." "Good morning, Crystal. The beach has been waiting for you." And when the customer makes it obvious that casual and edgy are both okay, the airline reciprocates. "I want to make love to the at JetBlue terminal." "Goodness, I hope you at least buy the terminal dinner first." Learning to pick up on your customer's subtle cues makes delivering service in the right tone of voice much easier. Set up a dedicated handle for customer support. Brands often have separate handles on channels like Twitter to manage customer support requests. Hootsuite has @Hootsuite Help, which is run by their support team. This helps filter out support issues from their primary channel, which is used to engage their audience with original and curated content. If you decide to create a social channel strictly for customer support, be sure to include the handle in your brand's other social profile bios so people know where to reach out for support-related requests. You can't be on all channels for support, so it's best to choose one or two that best suit your needs. To get inspiration from awesome customer support accounts like Twitter, check out Spotify, Warby Parker, and TELUS's dedicated support channels. Let's take a look at Warby Parker quickly. Here is their Twitter feed. "This is where our team takes care of you. Follow us at Warby Parker for more fun stuff." And they also give an email address. So you see some examples here. Somebody had an issue. "Warby Parker is the best, always very helpful, and they make awesome glasses. Thank you, Warby Parker." And they reply, "We're happy to help." All right, and let's look at this one. "Freakishly excited for my Warby Parker glasses to arrive. We're counting the days with you." This person actually tweeted a picture of herself with her new frames. "Honestly can't say enough about how awesome Warby Parker is. Had to get progressive lenses for my new prescription, and Warby came through with an affordable price and cute frames. Seriously, go check them out. Thank you for your kind words. We love your new frames." So if you go through there, you can see a couple of examples also where there were issues. "I waited 2+ years to make it to Warby Parker's San Francisco store to choose a pair of glasses with friend, and I lost them in the desert. In the desert. Miserable." So Warby Parker replies, "Oh no, DM us your order information and we'll see what we can do to help." That's a great proactive level of customer service. So you don't want to actually wait for a question or complaint. You want to be proactive. If you're launching a new product, anticipate questions or potential support issues that people might have. Use those to create educational content that you can share on your social channels, such as a how-to video or a best practices blog post. This will lessen the amount of support tickets you get and will increase engagement.